Hi, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical
And
therapist.
together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Hey, Brad, today we wanted to talk about how to strengthen your shoulders without hurting the rotator cuff muscles.
Right, and we're doing this in response to exact same question from one of our viewers. So I want to clear it up. I wrote it to him, but I thought let's get a video so we can actually see it.
Good idea.
All right, so rotator cuff are small muscles that stabilize the shoulder joint. They're not—
There's 4 of them.
Right, they're not big, strong muscles, but the deltoids, they're the ones that are really doing some work.
And the deltoid's not part of the rotator cuff.
Right. Those are the ones that usually people want to bulk up so they look strong like bull. Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't want to hurt the smaller muscles, but yeah, we want to build them up. And we also want to build up the big deltoids.
Right.
So.
Especially if you've had a shoulder rotator cuff injury in the past, you want to watch this and do these exercises.
Right.
Okay?
Let's
so
go.
First one, why don't you lay down prone, Bob. Now in the weight room.
Prone or supine?
Prone.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, this is going to work the posterior deltoids, okay? Get a dumbbell the size of the weight that you need. And
so this could be heavy, right?
Right,
Brad?
yeah.
This could be,
If this was me, I'd have those 80-pound ones. No, whatever weight is appropriate. And let's get the mechanics right. He's going to lay there, take the stress off his back and work the shoulder. Keep the arm relatively straight. He's just going to lift it up as high as he feels comfortable and then back down to the neutral position. Go ahead, Bob. Okay. And I really like this exercise because it gets the posterior deltoids as well as the scapula and some of these postural muscles as well, Bob. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. This is a great one.
You better believe it. And again, I like to do 3 sets of 10 when I'm strengthening a muscle for bulk. 8 to 10 repetitions, 3 reps is what I've always been taught through my training. Okay. The next one, I like to call them pulls. Okay. And that's where you just simply pull up. You need to have a bench for this. A bench in the weight room works the best. At home, you're not going to do it off a bed very well. But again, you're going to pull up nice and easy. Again, this is another good one for those postural muscles as well as those shoulder muscles. And it does not stress the rotator cuff very much at all. And if anything, it strengthens it. How you doing, Bob?
Good.
All right.
So you want to do this on both sides, right?
Yeah. Yeah, otherwise one shoulder starts to look like this and you're a little lopsided. All right. Now we want to work on the opposite part of the shoulder. Anterior deltoids. Bob, can you go on your back or supine? All right. Get this big weight. I'm just kidding. Okay. Obviously, you're going to do this on a real bench. This is too wide to be effective, but it gets to the point. And you're just going to do bench press. A good quality bench press. And Bob probably knows he does more bench pressing than I do.
So one of the questions is probably how far apart you're going to have your hands.
Right.
And generally, the closer it tends to work more of the tricep, and out here it tends to work more of the chest and the deltoids.
Sure.
So.
And I think if you go in close, it's probably putting a little more stress on the
your shoulders.
Yep, a little more chance for impingement. So a wider grip will be a little easier on the rotator cuff.
So we're really not going to go into technique here because we don't have a bench and we don't have a weight, but this is something you can go obviously fairly heavy on and not worry about hurting the shoulder.
Right.
Rotator cuff.
Right. If you have a damaged shoulder already, use your good judgment.
Right.
Use weights as accordingly. Okay, so we got the bench press. Those are the 3 exercises that you can do to strengthen and atrophy the muscle, or hypertrophy. Hypertrophy these deltoids without really causing any risk for problem in the rotator cuff. Now, the next thing you should do is you should do a couple maintenance or some rotator cuff strengthening exercises.
Yes.
And Bob, give them the big warning about this.
Well, the big warning about this is that you don't need to go crazy on the weights on this. These are small muscles, and therefore it's really generally small weights or small resistance.
Right.
You don't need to, even big, strong guys that can press 300 pounds, shouldn't be taking 50-pound weights and doing external rotation and internal rotation.
Right.
It's just.
I really think that TheraBand or TheraTubing is probably the best for this.
Yeah.
So why don't we go through these? Okay.
Okay. I'm going to do it, or
you're going to do it. And normally, like what I do in the weight room, I just go up along a bench press and put it on one of the vertical bars, and it's a good way to hold it. I'm going to pretend I'm.
So you're going to do what we call outies or external rotation.
Sure.
So you're going to go out like this, basically keeping the right arm, keeping the arm at a right angle.
Right.
and then you're going to externally rotate it out like
Good.
this.
Do it how you shouldn't do it. Demonstrate a wrong technique.
Well, I suppose like this, or up like this.
And then the other one is,
Oh, yeah, going like this.
yeah, the elbow needs
Yeah.
to stay next to the ribs.
You can put a towel underneath your arm if
Yep.
you want. We've done that before, but don't be bringing it out like this.
Right, exactly. And again, 10 to 15 repetitions. I like to do 3 sets of 10 myself. I like to combine this one. I don't know how you do this, Bob, but I'll do 10 of these, and then I'll face
Yeah,
me.
and you basically be doing this then.
Well, I face and do these.
Oh, do these, yeah.
Right,
These are good.
yeah.
Just,
Scapular
yeah.
retraction.
again, it's the same thing really, some external rotation, but it's also getting some good posture muscles that are going to help your rotator cuff by
Right.
putting you in better posture.
And then for the third one, bringing those hands straight down and thinking about bringing the shoulder blades down into your back pockets.
Sure.
And doing this one.
Palms down.
Right. And face that way once, Bob, and pretend you're doing them, or you can do them. But it's really important on these to think about the shoulder blades. You want to put them down into your back pockets. Obviously, you're not going to, but if you think about it, it gets the muscles down here, those lower traps to kick in, which is really key for posture and proper mechanics of the shoulders. So what do you say, Bob?
Well, that was external. We've got to do internal rotation too, Brad.
Well, yeah. You know, I don't do this one a lot, but I think
I don't
it's a
either
good
because
one.
it's such a strong muscle.
Right.
You
But
really should do it.
Yeah, this is a bonus. Probably
Yeah.
should. Yep. Well, we're getting pretty right down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah,
here.
if you're
It's
having,
good.
if you've had trouble with your rotator cuff, I would do it.
Sure.
If you haven't, I don't know that I would.
Right.
Once in a while I throw them in, but you're getting some of it with bench press, and you know what I mean,
Yeah.
some of the same
Right.
muscles. So
Yeah, so
All right.
I'm thinking you follow this, and you're going to become strong like bull, Bob.
yeah, and you're gonna have the big bowls right here, right? The big basketballs.
Oh
right
yeah.
there. All right, thanks for watching.
Bob and